Hello adorable humans, and welcome to my latest distraction video. In this video I wanted to talk about my experience with the Kindle Paperwhite. I watched a lot of videos before I got mine, and I wanted to contribute my own discoveries and opinions about it. Starting off, I wanted to talk about why I got the Kindle Paperwhite. So I live pretty darn far away from my local library, so I have been using my childhood library and reading ebooks that way. My mom still lives in my childhood home, so I just use her stuff because she doesn't go to the library. Does that make me a criminal? I don't know, but I'm going with it. I don't feel too guilty about it. I spent my youth in that library. I think I've earned it, right? Like, I was such a library nerd as a kid that back then you had to recite your library card number. I don't know if they just did that to kids to like make them better at remembering, but I just was really into reciting the number, and I still have my old library card number memorized in my head to this day. As I got older as a teen, I kind of drifted away from reading because I was going through the, emotional kind of discovering yourself phase, but I jumped in and out of reading. And one of my fondest memories as a teenager as well is after school, I really didn't want to be near my family. They were wonderful. I was just moody. So I would go out in my backyard and do my homework. He's such a rebel. And I would read my books as the sun was going down. Of course I couldn't do it during the winter, but during the spring, towards the end of the school year, that's where I would sit out and read my books, and I loved it. Except my dad caught me reading. I went through a phase where I was reading mangas, however you prefer to pronounce it. And oh gosh, what was it? I think it was Orange Marmalade was one of the ones I was reading at the time. And my dad happened to pick up the one where they did it, and he got so upset with me. He's like, "You're not allowed to read those kind of books ever again." I think I was still in middle school at this point. I drifted off and started reading horror books, and there's one horror book I read to this day. It has stuck with me, and I love that book. Ended up buying the book because I just have such fun memories of reading this out in my backyard. And I might do have you heard of like Carrie Cakes? Or not Carrie Cakes, Carrie Can Read. She's the only booktuber I watch. She did the entire plot of the Fairy Smut series that I've never read. I know a lot of people have read it. I didn't have to. This video was so fun. It was just like sitting around a campfire and just listening to your best friend tell the most amazing story, and I loved it. So I was like, maybe I could do my own entire plot, but I'm not as well spoken as her. I don't have a good mic set up, but whatever. This is a hobby channel. I might end up doing it. I think it would be really fun to possibly reenact the book scenes using Sims. It just sounds so fun to me, but it's gonna be so much work. So anyway, back to the Kindle. I was about to go to bed one night, and the book started really picking up, and I stayed up till 3 in the morning reading the book. That's not like me. I like my sleep. I am part marshmallow. I must sleep. But I stayed up till 3 a.m. reading that book. And I thought, oh my god, I can't look at my phone for this 6 hours or whatever it was straight. This can't be good. So I got a gift from one of my family members, and I decided to get a Kindle Paperwhite with it. And so I was watching all the YouTube videos about if it's worth it, and the biggest selling point for me was less eye strain. When I was looking at the videos, I noticed it's a big aesthetic trend for people to get a clear case and put a bunch of stickers in it. So I originally wanted to do the clear case sticker trend. I wanted to get the glittery clear case with the sparkle pop socket, and then get a bunch of the junk journal scrap papers. There was one with really cute penguins that had flowers on them, and I was like, that's me. That's my aesthetic. But I found a case on Amazon. I'll see if I can show you. It's a leather one, and it has a holder, like a little sleeve in the back for your hand, and it has a little stick-up stand, and it has a cover. And it was only $20 compared to having to get the clear case, to pop socket, the junk journal, and a screen protector, and possibly a case to hold my Kindle in so that it would be protected if I put it in a bag, extra protected. It just didn't make sense financially for me. But I admire people that are able to put that much into their Kindles. No judgment there. It's just, for me, So another thing with the Kindle was trying to decide if I wanted to do the advertisements or no advertisements. So what the advertisements are is basically, for me so far, it's just on my lock screen somebody advertising their AI bedtime child story, and that's been the main ones I get. They're like, I'll show you a picture here, or just, hey, look at the Kindle Unlimited, and that's it. The big thing that I agree with that I saw with people that ended up choosing keeping the advertisements like me was that you have to touch and move the lock screen anyway, and if your screen is off, usually you're going to have a cover over it anyway. You're never going to see it unless you're opening up your book, and you have to move, like, click away the screen no matter what. So for me, it's not a big deal. I think it's perfectly fine. I like have my little cover over it. I never see them unless I'm going to read a book, and I just laugh at the AI bedtime stories because they plague me. Don't know. I guess it's because like I rented a book a couple times to read to my kid, and my kid didn't even like the books, but now my cookies are cute little bedtime stories. It's fine. I'm cool with it. My husband bought it with his Prime. I have my Kindle books that I read in my own Prime. You know what? Like when I check it out from the library, it goes to my Amazon account or my Kindle. But what we ended up doing was I found out you can do a household and keep one adult. So he's sharing his Amazon account with my Amazon account, so I can still get access to his books, and I think he can get access to my books. It works out really well. We had to also do that because when he bought it on his Amazon account, the Kindle Unlimited was attached to his Kindle account, or to his Kindle and his Amazon. So I have to go on my desktop if I want a Kindle Unlimited book for the next 3 months. And check it out through his account, and then it still gets to my Kindle, but when I want it off, I have to go onto my computer. I did notice though, and I don't know why, that when I'm done with the book, it stays in my library, and I try to return it on his end, and it is returned, but it stays in my library. So I guess that's fine, but I kind of hate that you can't hide books that you just don't want to look at, because when I was desperate for something to read and I didn't have my library card at the moment, because I had to re-sign up when I moved here, because I ironically I forgot my library card number. They updated their system and stuff, so I lost my childhood library number. I know, it's really sad. I went years without going to the library, so kind of got lost in the system. So anyway, I was just downloading free books that I was allowed to get on my husband's Prime. And so now there's all these ugly books in my library that I have to look at every time I go in. I'm more upset with that than the advertisements. But maybe I'll figure out how to hide those eventually. But it's fine. It's not like I'm reading them. It's just my library. But in real life, you can take books off your library and get rid of them when you're just not in the mood to see them. There's got to be a way. I just haven't figured it out. I'm still new to it. So that's something that if you're sharing an account with someone, maybe to consider. It's their books. I don't know how to like bring their books in and out if it's a Kindle Unlimited book. As far as books that they own on their end, I believe you can hide them. I think you can. But the Kindle Unlimited ones, they just stick there no matter what. So you just got to be careful with what ones you pick to check out. And I don't know if they're going to disappear when we lose our it's 3 months free. So we're going to cancel it after the 3 months because I just used my library card. But once that's canceled, I don't know if they'll leave. I'll update, but I'm sure somebody else out there already knows. So that is what I have learned from having the Kindle. Highly recommend it, especially if you're a cell phone reader. I also see a lot of people are moving on to using Fire tablets, which I don't recommend. I did for a brief moment try to read my husband's books on my kid's Kindle Fire thing. And it still strained my eyes really bad, even with the warm red light. I know it's a big price point, but if you're like me, you can also say that you're checking out the books from the library, and so you're going to be saving money rather than buying physical books. You can test out books also and see if you like them before you buy them physically, which is a big thing for me because I always get buyer's guilt if I buy a book and I don't like it. I used to go to my used bookstore and get like a $3 smelly old book, and if I didn't like it, I'd still feel guilty, even though it was $3. But I was like, oh, what a waste of money. So with reading a library book, I can just throw, if I don't like a book, I just throw it on my abandoned shelf so fast, and I don't feel guilt about that. So that's something that I really love about reading my books on my Kindle, and just not feeling like it's holding me hostage if I don't like a book. Oh, sorry, I hit my microphone. I got coffee and I forgot. Oh my god, ew, it's cold. Oh, that's sucky. At least, like, I do a tiny mug of coffee in the morning, but this morning I knew I was doing a video and I wanted to make a double big mug. But I started talking and I forgot about it. It's already cold. I'm thinking about getting one of those mug warmers. They look so nice. You can just set your mug on it. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, I had to pause recording this real quick because my throat is literally starting to hurt because I never talk this much. So I am going to try to end the video here. So overall, if you're thinking about getting this, highly recommend for helping with eye strain. It really does make a huge difference, and I read a lot faster with it compared to my cell phone. It's more comfortable too because the cell phone's a lot smaller. You don't have to click as often to change the page and stuff because the Kindle's bigger, more text fits per page, and it has a dark mode and a light mode, which I also forgot to mention, which is really helpful at night or just in general with the eye strain again. So definitely recommend getting it if you're on the fence. You won't regret it, although you might regret it in the sense that there'll probably be a sale the second after you buy it, like happened to me. I bought the 151, and there's the signature one at the time was $180, and then as soon as I bought this one, no kidding, Amazon put the signature one on sale for the same price as the one I just bought, so I could have got the fancier one. It's rude, right? The fancier one had more gigabytes, has auto light changing, and wireless charging. Honestly, all things I don't need. So at the end of the day, it's not like whatever, I'm missing out on huge stuff. That's all luxury stuff. I heard that you can fit thousands and thousands of books just with the 8 gigabytes. So you don't need all those gigabytes is what I keep hearing. Nevertheless, it's still annoying. I could have got something fancier for the same price, right? But other than that, I don't think you'll regret it, and I think it's something to give a try. And after my voice recovers and I post this, I'm thinking about doing another video just chatting about some of the books that I've read. Sure what I want to do, but I'll be seeing you again. The channel, I won't be posting as often because I'm not doing my drawing playlists, so my other hobbies are a little more sporadic and kind of there's lots of time between. But I do plan on posting often on this channel, so if you stuck around, I would love if you subscribed, and I hope to see you next time. I do games, books, music playlists, and whatever else is distracting me at the moment. Oh my gosh, real quick rant, even though my throat hurts so bad from talking. So I've been using Epidemic Sound for my music, for my drawing playlists. This is totally off the topic for the Kindle. Sorry, whoever's sticking around and listening to me chat. But I need to express this, okay? So I have been putting it says it's $10, and I was like, okay, this is my latest hobby. $10 a month for something that is going to keep me entertained day in and day out for a hobby, I think is fine. So that was what my hobby was for the last year. I didn't buy books as often. Like I bought like 1 or 2 used books, like I said, but my hobby money, I try to only keep it about like $20 a month if I can. YouTube and making drawings and doing the Epidemic Sound has been my hobby. And I noticed though, even though it says it's only $10 for the music, it was charging me like almost $20. Like I saw it was charging me more, but it was only $15, and I was like, oh, okay, it's extra $5. I can deal with that. But then towards the end, my husband was saying, oh yeah, I was charging you like $20. I was like, is it because I was downloading so many songs? Like I said, I had unlimited songs. Like I don't know what it was, and I could have called customer service and complained, but I am not that type of person. I am a quiet person. It's easier for me just to unsubscribe and admit defeat than to just be like, why does it say it's $10 but you're charging me $20? You know? So if you're thinking about getting the epidemic sound, I'm sure there's a reason behind it, or it says something. I just never really got around to figuring it out. So I'm not going to be making music videos for a while because I spent my money. I got this Kindle as a gift, and then I've been playing Sims 4, so I spent my hobby money for the month and the next month to get 2 expansion packs for the spring sale, which was awesome. I know, again, off topic, but they had 60% off of the expansions, so I was able to get Cottage Living for $15.99 and to get Better Together for $20. So that was 2 months of my hobby money I had to spend right then and there. So I better be playing Sims. So yeah, I'm also gonna be making possibly some Sims videos. Like, that's why I want to do my book video with Sims, because I've already got it, and it would just be fun to just have it as a thing. Back in the day when I first started my channel, I made videos with Sims. So I would talk about ghost stories from around, like, I did one from Texas, and I did one from my hometown in Washington, about like a park that I used to go to, and I reenacted a lot of the stories with Sims, but I took them down because I was a brand new channel, and looking back, I was basically just reading word for word what the articles said, and I don't want to be that kind of person. And I genuinely was not trying to. So when you're reading ghost stories, usually they all have the same one single paragraph, and they just reword it like 4 different times in different news articles. They see a man in the corner. Sometimes they hear footsteps. They often see a girl, and that's the ghost story, right? So there's only so much creativity you can do, but nevertheless, I felt like I was just reading directly from an article and not being able to put any personality into it. But I had so much fun making the Sims do like the acting, and like I would build the whole building to look like the building. I would look it up on Google Maps and try to decorate the building look exactly like what I saw. And then I would try to make the characters kind of match, and I made myself like a cute Sim. It was really fun. As much as I want to be like, oh yeah, it's just one paragraph, what can I say? At the end of the day, it's still on me to make it my own. What is it? Creative Commons or whatever. You got to take it and make it your own and change it. I'm not going to just take that article and read it word for word. I don't know how to change the story though. Like, how do you change it? They see a man in the corner. Okay. They often see the man curled up. But I don't want to make it more dramatic than what it is. That was the problem. I didn't want to add theatrics or make it more stretch the story, because I felt wrong. I wanted to just keep to the facts. But anyway, you'll never know because I took it down. Now if I do Sims videos, they're going to be something else. But I still really want to go back to reenacting stuff with the Sims, because it was just so fun to edit and fun to draw all the stuff. So we'll see from there. Anyway, get the Kindle. Have a great day. My throat hurts so bad. How do people talk so much? That's what I get for being a loner, honestly. I'm going to go back and read my Kindle, play some Sims, and I'll see you next time. Have an adorable, amazing day. Goodbye.